will rejoice, I will rejoice in thee, glad in it. Oh, oh, hey. Hey, gentlemen, this is Zero Journey with Dr. D. And we are in them streets, ain't been in them streets for a while. I ain't been in the streets for a while. Now, I think I'm gonna do a mad dash to try to get my engagement up for the end of the year. I need to be more, well, not television, but focus on a certain gender. I got a couple things I'm juggling, but I'm trying to prioritize these things in a manner that it may be effective and beneficial. So, but this is what's been on my heart. I try my best to be reflective about be reflective of things that are happening to me, happening around me, as well as happening to the individuals that are connected to me, because of me, or just because. I had a current situation with a friend of mine that friend of mine that I was concerned about. I was concerned about because something I've done. Now, you hear me what I'm saying? I'm concerned about the friend. Something happened to that person due to what I've done. Now, things I did wasn't always wrong, but they definitely weren't right. And I'm of the mindset that if I'm doing something 30% wrong and 70% right, I'm still wrong. If I'm doing something 20% wrong and 80% right, I'm still wrong. If I'm doing something 10% wrong and 90% right, I'm still wrong. If I'm doing something 5% right and 95% wrong, then I'm still wrong. I am in error, especially when it affects somebody else that's connected to me, because I care more about my relationships than I care about the situation at hand. When it all comes down to it, you're gonna have assignments, you have vacations, you have jobs. It doesn't matter. But what you want to have at the end of everything, you want to have relationships. You want to have some relationships that would test time in the good, the bad, the ugly, and the indifferent. And I think this relationship is worth it. Well, it is worth it, and it's worth it. Any relationship that I take time to actually invest in, I invest in, because I consider myself genuine. Now, everything I do ain't right. Now, let's get this clear. Everything that I do is not right. We die daily, right? And sometimes we do things and we know we're doing wrong. But then again, we die daily because we're led by our flesh. And our flesh is us, we do what we want to do for whatever it means. We may have a noble reason why we do things, but if it's wrong, it's still wrong. Me included. Yeah. So if it's wrong, it's still wrong. So people try to rationalize wrong things. I'm trying to do it for the benefit of good. It's still wrong. Wrong is wrong. And when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Now, I told my friend the other day, listen, I'm wrong. I apologize. Sometimes you can spend, I met a great man, old pastor used to say, you never outlive your excuses. So my mindset said, why take time to create one? Why do I take time to ramble and create that excuse when I never outlive it? It's a waste of time. Apologize, move on, be better. Apologize, move on, be better. I'm learning that about myself. I'm learning how to apologize quicker. And I'm still working on being better every second of the day. every day of the week, every week of the month, every month of the year. And every year that I'm still here, I still aim to be better. Now I got on to really talk about I'm doing a heavy focus on trauma. I believe not that it's complex PTSD that I'm emphasis on. I believe a lot of people deal with trauma or complex trauma, or it deals with them and they refuse to deal with the pain of the trauma. Why do they refuse to deal with the pain of the trauma? Because the pain of the trauma is locked in their core. It's locked in their core, and when they elicit that pain to the surface, it's a certain amount of pain that people are generally unwilling to face. Why? Because they don't know how to control the pain. See, when there have been an issue, if there have been an issue in early childhood, and you'll learn a certain coping mechanism to help you suppress the pain, so you keep on living as a child. It's things that's easy because you've done it all your life. But when you get older, you get into relationships, new jobs, new opportunities, new intimate relationships, then it becomes difficult to deal with the pain or to let it surface. Why? Sometimes you want that to be undercover, and you want the world to see the delusion that you created to be your real person, but your real person is trying to come out. And every now and then, when you're triggered, the real person comes out and you try to push it back in. It's not really the real person, it's the real pain in the person that's trying to escape. It's just trying to show its ugly head. And I believe that everybody needs an avenue to get that ugly head out. It's probably so you can beat that ugly head down. Beat it down and flatten it out, and so you can deal with the pain. If you don't deal with the pain, I promise you, the pain's going to deal with you. Now, I don't know what this car is doing right here, but but it's a heavy light. I can't see either. Yeah. Man, it's a heavy light. It's a heavy glare. It's a heavy glare. Yeah, it's a heavy glare. Ooh, you can barely see. All right, so sometimes people don't deal with the pain. And I really believe that if you don't deal with the pain, no matter how old you are, it's going to deal with you. And it's going to affect your relationships. You're going to break your homes up. You're going to break your homes up. You're going to break your employment, your opportunities to get further in a career that you worked hard to obtain, because everything's be hidden in a secret. Get help, people. I mean, get help. Get help with the pain. Get somebody that you have liberty to share and to share and get it out so you can get help. Now, it's a thing. It's like I stated before. It's complex trauma. I believe complex trauma is a certain type of pain that generally you receive. The inception is generally in childhood for the most part, and as you're developing a certain personality and certain ways or patterns of doing things. So what happens is that when you get that pain, that pattern of doing things, you learn a coping mechanism. It becomes your ordinary. It becomes your regular, and mean that if it consistently happens to you on the regular and it's causing pain to your psyche, then what happens, your amygdala, it happens, fight, flight, freeze. Your survival, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, your survival mechanism spark. Now, when they spark, you're going to do one of them. One of them things is going to happen for survival. Now, you may run, but realize you too small, you can't go nowhere. So that's not making you safe because you don't have anywhere to go. You may fight. Yeah, but if you fight, you can't win. Um, so your mind won't shift you in that direction. I'm supposed to be going there. So, however, what your mind probably will shift you to is the fight. There are three basics: fight, flight, or freeze. As a child, 3 year old, 5 year old, 7 year old, you may go into the state of freezing. What that means is that if there's some type of abuse, physical, sexual, what have you, some type of abuse, or if you're witnessing some type of abuse on a regular, uh, uh, parents, school, it's some type of abuse, and you're trying to build some type of coping mechanism. Your mind does. So this is disassociate itself with that trauma. You disassociates and suppresses the event in your memory. Suppresses it to go to your subconscious and to be buried as you live consciously somewhere else. Meaning that if you're getting abused, you get physically abused every day. Like Tyler Perry pretty much stated that he used to go somewhere in the garden in his mind and create stories. So he clicked off. There's association from the actual event that's happening, so it can preserve your psyche. And the intent is not to stay there forever. The intent is for when you get time, when you get an opening, is to deal with it. And a lot of times, deal with it through arts, you deal with it through sports, activities, getting the aggression out, or the pain out. However, everybody's not fortunate. Everybody's not fortunate to have those outlets. Everybody's not fortunate to have those outlets, and so what happens is that they carry those that pain into adulthood. And the thing that triggers it and pulls it out is intimacy. Hey, Tito. Hey, Tito. Good evening. Well, actually, it's good afternoon. No, it's good evening. Yeah. So they pull the thing out. The intimacy, what it does, it triggers the pain. The intimacy triggers the pain, and it does not mean a sexual encounter. It can be a close knit. It could be a close knit bond between you and somebody else, and generally that person gets the blunt of the pain. The person you're closest to pretty much gets the pain. I got a couple of friends like that. I realized that when they start fussing and fussing, I realized, oh, they care about me. They feel comfortable enough to vent knowing that I won't go anywhere. And that's why I knew I was close to them. Now, no violence happened, but they just snapping. I snapped back, but I didn't take anything personal. But I feel he's comfortable enough to actually be himself. And isn't that what we really all want? You want the other individual to be themselves, to be honest. But sometimes people are not honest and they suppress who they really are, and they're not honest. And so therefore, when something happens, all this stuff comes bubbling up and projects onto you. And you're like, wait, all I did is I dropped a sock on the floor. I didn't steal anything, I didn't beat anybody. And the person just goes off. Or the person tries to find holes in everything that you're doing that's not perfect. And what they do, they find all these flaws in you, and they make a big deal, a mountain out of a molehill. Oh, you the reason. Oh, and you've always been doing it. It's been 15 years, but you're getting close to their pain, and they feel that if that pain, they feel that if that pain, if they can get you away, right? If they can get you away from them, then they won't have any more pain. because you are the trigger to the pain, that the pain that's lodged inside, that's been buried for so long. And the only reason you are the trigger is because into me you see. Intimacy. Into me you have seen. And I don't want you to get that close, because it hurts to deal with the pain that I have not dealt with in such a long time. Pain. You ever go to the gym, you see no pain, no gain? Same thing in life. If you don't deal with the pain, you never get through it. If you don't deal with the pain, you never get through it. So I'm doing a heavy dive, in complex trauma, because I really want what I do, the connection to my YouTube channel, and what I do in private practice, to help get to the core of healing people. I believe a lot of people deal with emotional pain, and medication is good. Wouldn't be so good. Wouldn't be a good thing if you don't. It would be a good thing if you can bypass the medication and get to the core. Now, granted, we need medication until we get to the core, because if you don't get that medication, you may never get the opportunity to go to the core. Your blood pressure may increase, your sugar levels, everything. So you gotta do what's right. Let's not be crazy now. I'm believing, but you ain't did the steps to get to the depths of belief. Tita, what you said, I've had the experience with people. Mental health is a real, and we must get the appropriate treatment. I agree. I really do. My heart's desire is to get to the core. I mean, as I work with other people, I work with myself. I am reflective every day. See, how can I get better? Right now, I'm currently in a project in my life that's directed toward me, called Project Metamorphosis. I'm dealing with so objective that I've been meaning to do for a long time. Physically, emotional, social, everything. Because sometimes you can be so caught up in what you're doing for others, you forget about yourself. And if I forget about myself, then I never unlock what God meant for me to do to help others. It's so easy to do. If you're a man, you're a father, and you're a responsible person, you're looking for your family. You look out for your family before you look out for yourself. And before you know it, you're no good to anybody. Not even to yourself. Because you broke down. Because you never did self-care. For a real man, I mean, the Bible says, you love your wife like Christ loved the church. People get that out of context. The reason why, the end result is Christ died for the church. Real men are willing to die for. We protect our families. I don't think our goal is to die working. But unfortunately, a lot of men die working for their family. They think they work for their family, but they work themselves to a grave. Their goal, their intention is to work themselves for their family, but to work for themselves for the family and nobody really appreciates what they work for. Yeah, it's not a. And then you get to your end days, and nobody's coming looking after you. I'm not at that point, but I've seen people this happen to. They work all their lives only to come to ingrates, or people not willing to take care of them. I believe a little sweat equity helps. You make a person work. Nothing's wrong with people who pay for college tuition. I believe that kids need to earn their college tuition. I think you have better appreciation. But if you get money to take care of it, take care of it. But that's not even the point. The point is get the grades, athletics. That shows appreciation what I have. Now, I know other people that parents have taken care of the tuition, but they're very appreciative of it. But I know some people that parents took care of the education and the person drops out. Why? They got no sweat in the game. They can always go back home. That's neither here nor there. But my whole goal is I'm talking about complex trauma and how we're dealing with things. Oh, let me see. Let me go get my. Where's my? I gotta get my clothes, y'all. I'll be back. Papa. Ooh. So I had to leave you home because I just had to go inside and get my clean. No, I ain't get my clean. I had to get some the suit and some pants. Had to get tailored. Told y'all, Project Metamorphosis. Project Metamorphosis. Yeah, I'm working on it. I've been today. I was going over some stuff about my channel. I got enough. I have the people. I got enough subscribers, but I just need more engagement. I'm not getting engagement, but to be all honest, to be very honest and transparent, the last 5 months, I haven't been the most consistent. I got content on there, but I have not been the most consistent. So I'm working on that. I'm working on see what the end gonna be. As church folk will say. I'm working on see what the end gonna be. I'm gonna run on, gonna see what the end gonna be. I'm gonna run on, see what the end gonna be. Yeah, that's what. Okay, so now, am I gonna go? I'm gonna get I got my clothes. What time is it? I think I gotta go see my son practice. Oh, I'm sure I got time. 5 4 hours, I got time. Then I gotta go to I got a receipt and stuff. I need to take it back for 10 5 below. I try to get my the earplugs is not working best. All right, so like I said before, I just don't think a lot of people And I'm gonna go back and edit all this, but I've dealt with some things as well. I'm dealing with things currently right now, and when I incurred my previous or the situation that I'm dealing with, um, it didn't fare well with me. I didn't understand why. I didn't understand why, and I had to pull myself from the situation. Get perspective. It's not me then who, then not when, not now then when. Because sometimes in one's life you need situations that will jolt you to make an adjustment, or some would say a pivot, a hard pivot, because nothing like a life changing situation or occurrence to make you reevaluate how you do things and why you do things. Now, this minister Voldy, he just passed. He just passed. Now, he's younger than me, but he look older than me though. But he has some situations that's happening with his body. I think it was cancer. And he died. He recently died. I think he had 12 kids. He had a lot of kids. He had a lot of kids. And he was doing his purpose. He was doing his purpose. So he left, but he didn't leave. He left, but he just transitioned to another phase of living, I believe. Don't know if it's premature. Only God knows. I just know that things that I have not done in my life. I know that's things that I have not completed in my life. I know it's things that I have not accomplished in my life. And I know things currently in my life are disturbing. Are disturbing that I'm not satisfied with. And I know it's not desired, but it may be needed. It may be things in your life that's not desired at this current time, because for the most part we do a lot of living in our limbic system, meaning based on things on how we feel, and that's a lot of when you hear a lot of people saying individuals narcissistic, they're narcissists. That may not be the case. It's just they may have a whole bunch of narcissistic traits. I don't believe people are born narcissists. I believe that they acquire certain traumas that they have not dealt with, which allows them to stay in their feelings, so to speak. I mean, that everything needs to be serving them. And if it's not serving them and they don't get a feel good, then they have no need for them. And then, for some odd reason, people rationalize that since I have no need, and you're not serving the way I want to be served, then you're not needed for me. And so it will come across that you have been manipulated to get the other individual to a certain point, and then once you was you was not needed anymore, then bye 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 bye. Now that's a narcissistic trait, and one would say that's narcissism. And I can't say that person. I mean, I'm a therapist. I can't say I have not did my in-depth reading of my DSM-5 about the breakdowns, but I have seen the criteria. I just have not studied to the intent. I have did some study on narcissism and narcissistic traits, and I don't believe anybody's born narcissistic. That's like born like a sociopath, like a psychopath, because it's all about how they feel about it. It's like born a psychopath for the most part. I would say that a psychopath would be a narcissist, because it's all about how the annihilation of another person's life makes them feel good. I would say Ted Bundy would be a diagnosis as a psychopath. John Wayne Gacy, psychopath. Because it's about how it made them feel. irregardless of the other person. The empathy is not there. Yeah, but the is pleasure seeking to the nth level, where disregard for the party they try to pull the pleasure from. Then that's some weird stuff. But it's very I think it's very true, very factual. Now, play it to my head, not to my heart. Now, some of the stuff can be wrong. But like I said, I have not did any depth on narcissism, but I know that there a lot of people can exemplify. They can show a lot of narcissistic traits based on complex trauma. I mean, based on things that they were unwilling to deal with, or sometimes they didn't know how to deal with. And then sometimes they just want to manipulate the situation to benefit themselves, and they're fine with it. So when you're fine with twisting the truth to meet your own needs and disregarding the other person, yeah, that's a narcissistic trait. It's not good. And to change the narrative or how people view the other individual, that's not good either. Especially when you know the narrative is incorrect and it's lies. A lot of people, that it happens. I believe it happens to a lot of people. And but I do want to get to the bottom of how do you deal with it. If a person wants to be helped, how do you help an individual get to the core of the pain that's pulling them back and not allowing them to be the best version of themselves. Now, mind you, we all have a free will, so still people can choose not to be the best version of themselves. People can choose to be what they want to be, and I think that's what we deal with. People choose to be what they want to be, and to create a picture, an image of what they want people to see. That's what you call delusion. Yeah, that's what you call delusion. Let me see. Okay, I got this receipt. Let me check the box. Alright, so people, I just wanted to say something. I haven't said nothing in a while. I will be editing this. So this is a Hero's Journey with Dr. D. And we are in them streets doing the hills rant. Every day you get a vertical, make it your goal of life to always move forward, never look back. Why? Life's just too short to live looking in the rearview mirror. This is a Hero's Journey with Dr. D, and we are out.